Hello again, friends. Going to do a vinyl update, as I see many folks doing, and it'll be a continuation of how I actually got started here, posting with my face, which is to show you um, my latest purchases, as well as just what's kind of right down here at my playing bin, because it's kind of like, I've got it set up so that I can work and have music right available. What I bought today was a Torch Boris, a split 10-inch. And when I went to the store that I like, one of the stores I like to go to, Homer's, really didn't expect to find anything actually. So I was really pleasantly surprised that they have this 10-inch, which has this beautiful and kind of intriguing and delicate fold-out poster. And then even the front graphics. Very cool. I was very happy to get this today. I have a few other Boris things, and so it's really nice to add this, as well as Amplifier Worship by Boris on Southern Lord. And I just really appreciate the Southern Lord pressings. They're 180-gram vinyl, really heavy pressings of the covers. Really some nice thick spines. Just, those folks love records. Some stuff that's just sitting down here that, not just, but I've been listening to. Godspeed You Black Emperor. I believe these guys are Canadian. And hard to describe in a few words, but saw them live, and it's just like many of the pieces just build slowly. Many different things going on with everything from violins and cellos to tapes and good stuff. So I was just listening to that. I pulled this out because I was talking about it with Jeff, the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band. He had not heard of them back in the 70s. They had a minor hit with the song "Do Your Thing," which is not on this album, but don't you love that cover? Amir Contuzio is a musician from Brazil who goes under the moniker of Alpha 3, and these records were made in early 80s or into the 70s, kind of but a synthesizer thing somewhere in the realms of Vangelis to Klaus Schultz. And don't see these too often. I have a couple, and I had pulled those out and started listening. And there's that one. And then Ruinas Circularis, Alpha 3 from Brazil. And Brazilian pressings. I pulled this out because it was like I wanted to revisit it, SXL, Into the Outlands. It's a live recording involving Bill Laswell, Aib Dieng, I believe El Shankar is on here, and Ronald Shannon Jackson, that's right. Yeah, and Aib Dieng. This is pretty cool. Into the Outlands. United Dairies and Nurse with Wound and Stephen Stapleton and Current 93. That's a whole nother set of music and sound exploration that I'm interested in and am exposed to. And this is one of the United Dairies releases. I think it's Mastashadu Shekine. And actually, this is two side-long pieces of kind of this droning mantra-ish stuff going on with bowed cymbals and percussion and kind of moaning and stuff. And depending on your mood, it can be really irritating or it can be transcendent. Here's something I found a few years ago, knew nothing about, but it says, well, I have to buy it. Look at this title: "The Passion and Transfiguration of a Post-Apocalyptic Eunuch" by the New Hippies. Okay, and in part it's kind of cheesy, and overall it's very creative. It's kind of like these folks tried to do everything, including the kitchen sink, with this idea, and parts of it are pretty cool. I could not tell you right offhand again what the concept of the whole album was, but it was a fun ride while it lasted. German band called Altona Chicken Farm. Kind of a more of a rhythm and blues bass as opposed to progressive. But what I've always found about bands like this is that they'll have kind of like a Stones or blues kind of Rolling Stones or blues kind of approach, or like Blood, Sweat, and Tears. But there'll be that one song or two songs that just where they try to all of a sudden become Van der Graaf Generator, and I love finding those songs, and that album, that group has some of that. Now here's someone I'm going to have to do a whole post on, Ryoichi Sakamoto. He is one of my favorite pianists, and the work that he did with Yellow Magic Orchestra at the time of the early 80s, end of the 70s, amongst my favorites, as well as Kraftwerk. And those are, again, we're talking about some bands that I really do need to do some whole posts on and talk about their influence and my love of their music. But Left-Handed Dream, this album that he did along with Robin Scott and Adrian Belew, Japanese version, just some really cool stuff. Sakamoto is so elegant and creative and daring. He's just someone I love his work very much. This album was given to me this week by my friend Jeff. He's always trying to lay stuff on me, and I do say try, because sometimes it's like I'll accept things and listen. It's like, I like this, and then this I don't like. And so I'll say, well, and thanks. But this one is pretty cool. This is a band called Hookfoot, and it includes a musician by the name of Caleb Quay, who's played with everyone, I believe, including Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. It's been on some real key rock and roll recordings, and this is not bad. It's kind of ends up being kind of just I would say, yeah, basic rock and roll, but it starts up with this kind of jazzy thing, which is like, oh, this has promise, and of course the guys can play, and there's nothing wrong with boogie and that sort of thing, but I'd say it's pretty obvious by now that that's not what I'm looking for and what I'm really drawn to in what I'm posting of my records. And with that said, one of the bands that kind of rises above the others, in my opinion, since childhood, is Quicksilver Messenger Service. And this is a band called Copperhead, which was put together by John Cipollina of Quicksilver Messenger Service. And right from the top of this album, it rocks, and it's great writing and playing. And I'm not saying that I'm any sort of oracle, but I do love good music, and to me, it's inescapable when something is just good, and this is a good example of that. I like all kinds of music, and there's some music that people present to me, say, this is really good, and I'll listen, I'll thinking, and I'll wait for it to hit my bones or something, and it's like, no, I appreciate that you like it, and it probably is good, but it's not good. You know what I'm saying? Last couple things are some things that I found like at Goodwill's or something. This is turn of the century, and I'll come back, and I bought it because of the cover, and it was maybe $2, if that, and it's some kind of cheeseball organ music on the Ranwood label. I have to show the label because even the label is cheeseball. Sometimes you see this label on late night American television trying to sell you some kind of a gospel greats or something. Once again, not critical of that, but you don't know what I'm saying. That lo-fi kind of American hucksterism, kind of commercialism. But I bought that, and that was like, ooh. And then I bought this Herbie Man, no, quite a while ago actually. I like the cover, and it's a German import. I like imports. It's a textured cover. It's disco, and its cheese ball is it's just really, I keep saying that, but it's just really unsavory. My man Herbie can play, and so when they give him his solos, he's probably not too coked out on this album. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no disrespect when I make these comments. Hopefully you folks who, like myself, maybe have been and are involved in the music business understand that I make these little comments. I'm not trying to cut on anybody, but I'm telling the damn truth about how things are, have been, and probably always will be. Oh man, I just drew that out. It's fun to do this, and talk to me. I'll talk to you later.